What are the top 7 things that retirees regret buying the most? What do they regret spending money on? I'm talking about big purchases in retirement. Well, you know that one thing that you've been dreaming about buying when you retire? That one purchase that you keep telling yourself is going to make all those years of working worth it? Yeah, there's a really good chance you're absolutely going to hate it. I'm Jason. I retired when I was 39, and I learned this the hard way. Well, not from my own screw-ups, thank God, but from watching a bunch of people just like you make the same terrible mistakes over and over. Make sure you stick around to the end, because there's an 85% chance that the thing that you think will give you joy or freedom in retirement is actually going to become your financial prison instead. All right, let me start with the first one, which is buying that dream home in retirement. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's this gorgeous house that you've driven past for like 10 years. Every single time you see it, you think to yourself, someday when I retire, that's where I'm going to live out my golden years. I mean, you've earned it, right? Well, here's the thing that nobody tells you. Your body doesn't wait around for your mortgage to be convenient. So I knew this couple. They were in their late 50s when they finally pulled the trigger in their dream home. Beautiful place. Everything that they'd ever wanted. Fast forward maybe 6 years, and the husband's health starts going downhill. All of a sudden, that gorgeous 2-story house with the wraparound porch, it becomes like, well, their prison. Those stairs that seem so charming, now, thanks to bad knees, the husband is confined to the first floor. And that huge yard that they were going to spend all this time in, just constant stress and expense. But here's what really gets me. It's not even just the physical stuff. You're taking on this massive debt right when you're most likely never going to earn money again. Like, ever. You're making monthly expenses bigger right when they should be getting smaller. The thing is, when you're 55, you may still feel pretty invincible, you know? But at 70, man, that's a whole different story. Look, if you're serious about not screwing up your retirement and avoiding these life-crushing mistakes, make sure you subscribe right now. Those of you who've been here for a while, you know that I don't mess around with fluff here. Just the hard stuff that could actually save your retirement. Alright, so number 2 is boats. The 2 best days of owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day you sell it. I'm sure you've probably heard that one before. But what's not funny is that crushing feeling when your dream of freedom on the water becomes a financial nightmare that just won't go away. So I'm going to paint you a picture here. A few years back, I was dating this girl who worked at one of those boat storage places. You know, rows and rows of boats under these awnings. I was there visiting my girlfriend for lunch. It's the middle of summer, perfect weather just like today for being on the water. And I'm like, hey, why aren't these people using their boats? The manager's response still gives me chills. These people are retired, and they never use their boats. They just pay storage fees every month and watch the money disappear. Think about that for a second. These people are paying monthly storage, plus maintenance, plus insurance, plus repairs for something that they're not even using. It's not transportation like a car. It's like an expensive guilt trip just sitting there. I mean, boats are just major money pits. We're talking thousands every year in maintenance and storage fees that'll make you sick. And don't even get me started on repairs. You know what they say BOAT stands for? Break out another 1,000. And that's not even a joke. But here's the real trap. You can't even bring yourself to sell it because that would mean admitting that you made this huge mistake. So you just keep paying month after month, telling yourself, well, next season's gonna be different. Now, number 3 is personal for me because I watched some of my relatives fall into this trap. I'm talking about RVs and motorhomes. I mean, the dream sounds amazing, right? We'll travel the country, see America, we'll be free. The reality is, you just bought the most expensive, most complicated, most stressful way to take a vacation that's ever been invented. And here's what those RV salespeople, they don't tell you. Like 85% of RV owners regret buying the thing. 85%. 8 out of 10 people wish they'd never done it. My relatives, they started with a 5th wheel. Then they upgraded to a motorhome. You want to know how many times they actually used it in retirement? Maybe, 10 times? Maybe. They finally traded it in, but they lost a ton of money. They ended up with a satellite dish and some stuff for the house. The reality of owning an RV when you're retired is nothing like you imagine. You're dealing with breakdowns in the middle of nowhere, trying to back this 30-foot monster into camping spots, dealing with waste tanks and electrical problems and propane and generators. It's like owning the world's most expensive, most fragile house that you have to drive everywhere. And here's the even more cruel part. The age when you can finally afford an RV is exactly when you're at least able to handle all the headaches that come with it. Your reflexes aren't as good, your eyes aren't as sharp, you have zero patience for mechanical problems. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, come on, Jason, some people gotta be happy with their RVs, right? And you're probably gonna comment and tell me about your cousin who loves his Winnebago. And hey, that's great. I love to hear about the exceptions. So be sure to share them. But I also want to know if you agree with these retirement purchase regrets. Sharing your story in the comments might help somebody else reconsider and save them a whole lot of regret. So either way, please share your experiences down in the comments. Moving on, we have number 4, and that's timeshares, the gift that keeps on taking. Oh man, timeshares. I don't even know where to start with this financial disaster. About 85% of people who buy timeshares regret it. 85%. That's not a product, that's a scam with fancy marketing. Now, thank God I never actually fell for one myself. But my neighbor did. They were on vacation in Florida, went to one of those presentations, and boom, they bought it. $6,500. At the time, it seemed reasonable for years of vacations. But here's what they don't tell you. The purchase price is just the beginning. See, maintenance fees that go up every single year, booking fees, you can't travel when you actually want to because of blackout dates, and good luck trying to sell it. Timeshares are basically worthless on the resale market. My neighbors, they got super lucky and sold theirs for exactly what they paid, but only because they bought in this area that became really exclusive later on. For every story like theirs, there's hundreds of people stuck with timeshares that they can't use and can't get rid of. The psychological trick that they use is brilliant and evil. They get you when you're relaxed, on vacation, feeling good about life. They create this fake urgency. Well, this deal's only available today. They make it sound smart. You're going to vacation anyway, right? But here's the truth. Timeshares are designed to suck as much money out of you as possible, while giving you basically no flexibility. They're like financial quicksand. They're easy to get into, but almost impossible to get out of. Now, number 5 is home gyms. As someone who goes to the gym 4 days a week, I can actually wrap my brain around this one the most. See, I like to work out, so I get it. And at times, sure, it would be nice to work out at home. But then I look at all the used workout equipment on Facebook Marketplace, and I can't tell you how many home gyms I've seen on there that just ended up being expensive places to hang clothes. Now, the psychology with this one is fascinating. You think that retiring means that you'll suddenly have all this time and motivation to work out. You picture yourself getting into the best shape of your life. You imagine these long, leisurely workouts that were impossible when you were working all the time. Well, reality check, if you weren't working out consistently before you retired, retiring is not going to magically turn you into some fitness fanatic. And if you're buying equipment to replace going to an actual gym, you're missing out on something important. That's the social part, the energy of other people, the accountability. Plus, gym memberships are crazy cheap these days. I mean, my wife and I, we spend only $25 a month for both of us combined. And when your equipment breaks, when you get bored with it, when your knees can't handle that elliptical anymore, you're stuck with this expensive coat rack. Moving on to number 6, we have possibly the most dangerous purchase, bailing out your adult kids. This is the one that's really tough to talk about because it's about love and family and having to say the hardest word in the English language. No. So I'm going to tell you a story that'll break your heart. I had these friends and I'd known them for 20 years. Really responsible people. They'd owned their house for decades and I just assumed that it was paid off. When they decided to sell and move to one of those retirement communities, I found out that they still owed $50,000 on their house. So what happened? Well, it turns out that they'd been giving money to their adult daughters multiple times. We're talking big amounts. It drained their retirement savings and left them in a really bad spot right when they needed security the most. Listen to me very carefully. Your retirement money is only so big. Every dollar you give away is a dollar that you can't use for your own security, your own care, your own dignity when you're older. And I know this sounds harsh. I know you love your kids, but helping your adult children with money when you're retired, it's often the most destructive thing that you can do for both you and them. And here's why. You're teaching them that bad financial decisions don't have consequences because, well, mom and dad will always bail them out. You're making them dependent instead of helping them become stronger. And you're giving up your own security for problems that your kids need to figure out for themselves. Thankfully, I never had to ask my parents for money, ever. The only time they helped me financially was with college. And you need to realize that helping your adult kids can also mess up family relationships. What happens when one kid gets help and the others find out? What happens when help becomes something that they expect instead of appreciate? What happens when you can't help anymore because you've run out of money? So, what's the main reason that we make these mistakes? Well, here's what nobody talks about. All these purchases have one big thing in common. They promise to fix some emotional problem by buying something. Feeling disconnected from nature? Just buy a boat. Feeling trapped by routine? Buy an RV. Feeling guilty about your kids' problems? Just give them money. Feeling old and out of shape? Buy a home gym. But see, money doesn't fix emotional problems, it just creates new ones. The research is super clear on this. Financial regret gets worse as you get older, and the biggest regrets aren't about what people bought. They're about what they didn't save. Almost 60% of people in their 60s and 70s wish that they saved way more when they were younger. But here's the even sadder part. A lot of the people who did save enough money, they end up destroying their own financial security with these huge retirement purchases. Alright, so how can you protect yourself? First thing, understand that every dollar you spend in retirement can't easily be replaced. You're not earning money anymore outside of your investments. You can't get a do-over, so treat your retirement savings like what it is, something that's going to run out. Second, rent, don't buy. Want to try RV life? Rent one for a month. Want time on the water? Charter a boat. Want a vacation home? Use Airbnb. Test your ideas before you make decisions that you can't undo. Third, remember that future you is going to be different from current you. You'll be older, probably not as healthy, definitely less interested in dealing with maintenance and complications. Buy for who you'll be, not for who you are right now. Fourth, if you're going to help your adult kids, set clear limits before you start. Actually, better yet, help them learn skills instead of just writing checks. And most importantly, get professional advice before making any big purchase in retirement. These decisions are way too important to make based on emotions. Look, I'm not trying to crush your dreams here. I'm trying to save them. Because the real dream isn't about the stuff that you buy. It's about the security and peace of mind that comes from making smart choices with your money. Your 70-year-old self is counting on your 50-year-old self to make good decisions, so don't let them down. If this video made you think twice about retirement spending, please subscribe for more straight talk retirement advice. Thanks for watching.